All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. At this time, I will call to order the February 10th, 2026 regular meeting of the School Board of Charlotte County. Here in Charlotte County, we will achieve our vision of success for all through our mission to educate, inspire, and support all students to build stronger communities. Please stand and join me in saying the pledge. Great, thank you. Before we begin, I'd like to welcome Assistant Superintendent Dr. McElroy for sitting in for Superintendent Vianello, who couldn't be with us tonight. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And with that, Dr. McElroy, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
We have one deletion this evening, item G1, the City of Punta Gorda School Resource Officer Contract.
I move for the deletion of item G1.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the deletion as stated by Dr. McElroy. Any board discussion?
I do have a few things to say because I thought we were going to talk about this at workshop, but I guess we didn't, so we'll talk about it here. I do want to thank the superintendent and his leadership team for listening to me and my concerns about the change in the contract and for listening to the concerns that I heard from my constituents in the city of Punta Gorda about removing the Baker Center SRO. This is exactly why voters have school board members, because we're here to listen to our constituents and to make sure that those concerns are heard by the superintendent and the leadership team. And I just want to say that I spoke to Chief Smith about this situation and the proposed change to the contract. I trust her implicitly, and I stand with our law enforcement when it comes to recommendations on keeping our students safe. I'm never going to waver on that. The safety and security of our students will always come first. So thank you again to the superintendent and the leadership change for removing this contract from the agenda.
All right, thank you, Ms. Montre. Anyone else? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are there any additional cards? Nope. All right. Citizen input is vital to improving our school district, and we value your contributions. Citizen comments will be heard at the beginning of the meeting before any agenda items are addressed. While board members and the superintendent typically do not respond during the meeting, your remarks will be carefully reviewed, and follow-up will be provided when appropriate. Please include your phone number on your comment card. We ask that all comments be respectful and decorum must be maintained. Disruptions such as clapping, yelling, or loud conversations are not permitted. Warnings will be issued for disruptions, and continued issues may result in removal. Thank you for helping us improve our schools. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, and speakers must state their name and county for record. And first up, we have Maria Laura. Did I say that right? All right, welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to make a statement here today.
You're welcome.
Here as president of Charlotte Harbor LULAC, and as a Charlotte County resident, and as a former Charlotte County student and parent. Charlotte parents of English language learners are more and more reluctant to send their children to school. They're concerned with the presence of Immigration Customs Enforcement in the county, and the recent Sarasota School Board decision to pass a resolution to cooperate with ICE. Charlotte Harbor LULAC stands behind the 1982 U.S. Supreme Court decision in Plyer versus Doe. That decision provides that public education be made available to all children, regardless of citizenship or documented status in the United States, consistent with the 14th Amendment, Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution. I once was one of those children. School boards are local elected entities with independent constitutional authority and responsibility. As such, school boards must refrain from entering into agreements or adopt any resolutions with other agencies, such as ICE, that restrict this U.S. constitutional mandate to provide public education to all children equally. I ask you to consider that in your future decisions. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you.
And thank you for your comments. Next up, we have Myrna Cherry, please. Good evening.
Myrna Cherry, Charlotte County, Port Charlotte. I'm going to tell you a little bit about LULAC because last time that I was here with you, I told you a little bit about the NACP, and I'd like you to know something about LULAC if you don't know. And let me tell you a little bit about it. It's the organization that I'm here today representing. LULAC is the League of United Latin American Citizens. It was founded in 1929. A new chapter of LULAC was recently established in Charlotte County. Maria Lara is our chair, and we have some other people here today. And we are vigilant and dedicated to LULAC's purpose, which is, quote, to preserve democratic rights for Latin families throughout our land. Our local LULAC chapter takes its lead from the mother organization. We all are particularly concerned today, of course, about education. I am the education chairman of the LULAC in Town committee, and particularly about educating our Latin children, Latino children, for future success. So LULAC employs the Florida Constitution ensures that to all students, a, quote, uniform, safe, secure, efficient, and high-quality system of education. This is the state of Florida. In a safe learning environment, guaranteeing free speech and a life free of racial, gender, or disability discrimination. This is the state of Florida. And I ask you, let's move together on this and produce a learning environment that nurtures all wherever they fall on the spectrum with well-trained teachers and with well-written curricula and the conviction that learning and success are within one's reach. But there is a new obstacle today, and that's ICE. And I want to just talk to you a little bit about it. I speak of masked men, armed men invading classrooms, interrogating children, and arresting others. This is disruptive, to say the least. Perhaps terrorizing is a better description. Some school boards have been so horrified by this behavior that they have found the strength to say no. I think we all agree this scene is ugly. The atmosphere of ICE agents entering schools is so corrosive, so traumatic, that their presence could and probably will scar many for life. I lived through times when my children were forced to hide under their desks as atomic rays were synthesized. Please don't let this happen again. The children of Charlotte County are in your hands. Please be careful.
And thank you, Myrna. Next up, we have Tony Smith. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Tony Smith, Charlotte County. I just want to come and say thank you. Also, who would have been with us tonight is Donna Barrett. She's unable to attend with us.
You disregard that.
Last Thursday was I'm the co-chair for the Leadership Charlotte Class of 2026. Donna Barrett is the chair. This past Thursday was our Education Day. We had the opportunity to tour many of Charlotte County Public Schools. The class was able to widen their horizons and see the many different ways that Charlotte County Public Schools benefits our youth and young adults. And we also benefited by having the world's greatest tour guide. Claudette Smith was our tour guide for the day. So again, I just wanted to say thank you very much. Thank you for attending the roundtable that we had with the students as well. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Tony. All right, next up, we have the Reverend Gerald Anderson, please. Good evening.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Reverend Gerald Anderson. I am a resident of Charlotte County. I also graduated from Charlotte High School in 1981, so I've been here quite a while. I want to appreciate you all. You all have showed up mightily over the last month doing the breakfast. You was there with the kids, and I'm sure the performance of the kids took a place in your heart, displayed from our schools. I also want to say that I've been putting together the MLK Parade for 17 years, and you all have showed up. Not just you all, but it's a joy to see the kids come out and be educated about what history is about. And we are still making history. Also want to say that the YMCA, we are in need of support. I have also joined on that board. I try to stay active throughout this county for the betterment of all of us, because I'm always in around one of the schools every day. My daughter is a product of this school board in this county and Charlotte High. In fact, she's at a regional tournament, in a weightlifting tournament in Lakeland. So I can stand and say that we not just support our kids, but we take care of them well. And I just want to give thanks to you all for supporting us. Something you may not hear a lot, but something that is not going to be unnoticed. A vision of our superintendent at the MLK breakfast. He was everywhere to the point of cleaning up plates for us. At Cooper Street, he wouldn't leave until the last chair was put away. So that's a leader. And in order to be a leader, you first got to follow. And once you learn how to follow, then you can step up and say, okay, let's now come together and lead each other the right way. So I'm for what y'all doing. I'm not against any of these schools in our county, and I try to visit and participate in what we do in this county. Again, I just want to say thank you for what you're doing and continue to stay on the fight, because it's worthy of. Amen.
And thank you, Reverend Anderson. Next up, Patrick Eaton, please. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Patrick Eaton from Sarasota County. I am, thank you for letting me speak. I'm the president of PFLAG, Port Charlotte Chapter, a support group for LGBTQIA people and the people who love them. I'm also a member and I work with NAACP and LULAC. As a cisgender male, I understand I have privileges granted to me that I didn't necessarily earn. I was at the mass protest against the type of bill at Sarasota County School Board meeting against letting ICE into their schools. Many people were there, but we lost 3-2. The next day, ICE agents were in Gulfgate Elementary School. There's a child there that attends who's nonverbal autistic boy. He depends on structure and a peaceful day for his learning. I was made aware by his mother that ICE presence there was a huge disruption. Men with weapons and masks, that was very upsetting to him for his day. I'm trying to understand what should be lawful. I've read that ICE officers cannot enter schools without warrants prior to the bill and now after the bill. So why was the bill necessary if that is what the situation is? I worked in healthcare. I am not with law. That's what my occupation was. So why is the bill, apart from sending fear into families, parents, and children? I've been tutoring in the Charlotte schools for ELL for 4 years, teaching English to students from other countries. Most of them are Hispanic. Last year I had 15 students, which was wonderful, but I rotated who I seen. Last week in my class was 25% short of attendance. Some parents are calling the schools informing they will keeping their children at home. I heard that in the school. What affects the least of us affects us all. ICE agents often are targeting non-whites. I have a new friend and she is Native American, which I'm proud to learn from her. She knows somebody who was arrested and detained for 48 hours by ICE, and he had his tribal papers. Where would they deport him? He's a Native American gentleman. Often these arrests, their legal due process is not happening, which is very scary. So many families are concerned about this possible threat to our peace and our schools. We respect that you are also concerned and are working very hard for our students. And you must abide by whatever laws come in. We respect that. So we encourage the board to have a positive influence on any situation that might occur.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. All right, next up we have Alex Pritchard, please. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Alex, as you just heard, and I was a teacher for 46 years. The last 14 years of those, I was an administrator. I was somewhat chagrined at being called administrator, but nevertheless, I love teaching. And I was lucky enough to teach in a school that became very successful in virtually every way, I thought. We all know that young children need to be in a secure environment. You mentioned that earlier in, I think, one of the opening remarks. We're never going to have security in the schools as long as ICE is allowed to be here. Young children grow up either learning from their parents or from on the television that people with masks on and people that carry guns are bad people. And the worst thing that can happen is to create an environment, a norm within any school to make the students feel that they should be thinking about something other than what they're trying to learn at that time. The teachers are going to feel the same way, whether they're adults or not. I would plead with you to not allow an environment which will inevitably disrupt the learning environment. I'm sure all of you are extremely well educated. I'm sorry I don't know you, but Education 101 teaches our teachers about Maslow. And Maslow's first theories is that at the base level, all people need to feel secure and before they can move on to even thinking about other things. And our children will feel secure when ICE is around. The last smaller remark I have, and I'm not really very educated on this other than through friends. Last year, each Thursday I came to Port Charlotte High School and also worked in what we called the ELL program at that time. It was a wonderful program. I was greatly moved by the chance to go into the classroom. It was somewhat ominous when I walked into the first one and I was told there were 7 different languages, native languages being spoken there. But it was just more of a challenge, and I look forward to doing that all the time. I think those kids got a great deal of out of that. I know the teacher I work moved to Kentucky, but I was led to believe that the emphasis now in Port Charlotte High School is not so much English language learning as English as a second language. And that's not an insignificant or titular difference. It's a serious difference in the approach by which administrators and educators should take this to heart. I think our students learned a great deal knowing that that's what they wanted, but we never once told them this was going to be their second language.
Thank you,
very
Alex.
much.
All right, we have up Linda Richardson, please. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Linda Richardson, and I'm a resident of Charlotte County. I'm a member of the Charlotte County branches of the NAACP and the League of United Latin American Citizens. I thank you for allowing the public to give you feedback on issues that impact our Charlotte County schools. Like you, I have witnessed the devastating impact of ICE actions in Minnesota and elsewhere. Entire communities are trying to survive lethal and unlawful violations of the Constitution. I can't imagine the terror of having masked men taking individuals, including children as young as 5 years old, into custody. The individuals are not allowed the required due process. People are transferred to detention sites without access to food, water, sanitary conditions, or communication to family and lawyers. At least 2 people have been murdered while exercising their First Amendment rights. Lawmakers who attempt oversight are denied access, and detainees are dying in the detention centers as well. Here at home, I have stood outside the Everglades Detention Center with clergy and concerned citizens who want the ecological and moral disaster there to end. Florida's detention centers are known to be some of the worst in the country. Children pick up on the fear and the stress that their parents carry when they are threatened. The fear of separation can cause emotional harm of anxiety, depression, and behavioral problems leading to absenteeism, academic disengagement, and emotional shutdown. The harm lasts a lifetime. Our schools need to be safe so children can focus on their schoolwork. If this board follows Sarasota County and publicly endorses the brutal, unconstitutional approach to immigration control, it will negatively impact our immigrant and local students alike. Local law enforcement has said they will not sweep our schools and places of worship in Charlotte County. As a board, I am asking that you also take the position that schools are safe places and will not be open access for federal agents. Thank you.
All right. And thank you, Linda. Next up, we have Mark Sarusko, please.
Mark Sarusko, resident of Charlotte County. I was going to speak on the textbook review process, which I thought all of these folks were going to be speaking on as well tonight. However, they've just retailed a series of false information for you concerning ICE, whose agents put their lives on the line every day, including attempts to run them over with a car, which is not a typical First Amendment right exercise. And secondly, an individual who carries a gun and kicks out the light of ICE cars. Again, not a typical First Amendment exercise. There have been a series of lies told tonight. I would point out just one thing. Children do pick up on fear. And if the adults around them, teachers and parents, were to emphasize how the people who are coming in, if they come in, and that's not actually clear, are actually enforcing laws which have been passed by Congress and mandated by several different administrations, they would not be afraid. With respect to men wearing masks and carrying guns, I would point out that anyone who's looked at the video of the demonstrations in Minneapolis will note that the demonstrators are wearing masks, and that although they may not, except for this one idiot, carry a gun, they do carry fireworks, bricks, stones, Molotov cocktails, and other devices to injure the brave ICE agents who are enforcing congressionally passed laws. Now, I'll pass on because I still have a minute and 14 seconds. Let me just point out a couple things about the textbook review process. One is that I don't see anywhere in here where the community input was discussed by the committees. I reviewed the minutes of all three of the committee meetings. The only place I find in all of these identically is facilitator provided 10 minutes for advisory committee members to independently review and carefully consider the applicable data. So for those people like me who struggle with the online process, when I turn my computer on, if it actually turns on, I fall to my knees in prayer of thanksgiving, okay? They spent hours reviewing these books, and these people were given 10 minutes to review all the applicable data. I've got 19 seconds to point out to you that the books that were chosen for McGraw-Hill's Florida Study Sync Learning include in their library nothing about Thomas Edison, nothing about Kit Carson, Jim Bridger, Cochise, Crazy Horse, Joseph Brandt, Tecumseh. Does anybody here
Thank
know
you, Mark.
who Joseph
Appreciate
Brandt
it.
is?
Have a good night. Thank
Okay.
you. All right, next up we
Very
have
good.
Cheryl Souza,
Thank you.
please. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cheryl Souza. I'm from Charlotte County. I'm coming to speak to you about a few things. Some of you, there's a few who know who I am. I'm a retired educator for over 27 years in New Jersey. I'm asking you to look at the academic achievement of all students. This includes hiring staff that we can fulfill the success of our students. By doing so, having enough staff in every academic area. You talk about books, and that's, to me, one of the biggest places that you waste money, because sometimes the textbooks you have are already okay. So instruction does not begin only with a textbook. Instruction begins with the knowledge you start bringing and incorporating into the classroom. So the textbook is only one piece of learning. So be mindful when you're spending millions and millions of dollars every 2 years or every 3 years or whatever the case may be on literally textbooks. To me, as an educator, it's not worth it. I think it's better when you have more of a Montessori learning where you bring in multiple ways of learning so you reach every child. I'm looking at the faces to see. So you reach everyone where they are and you bring them up. Florida's education is in the lower ranks, you know that, compared to where Jersey is. We can do this. I believe we can do this. But the academic piece, including what others talked about, the ICE, being an African American, I know it seemed like ICE followed me my whole life. Right? There was always something being of a different race where you were looked at differently. And a lot of times, I'm the only person of color in the room or doing various things. As a school board member, as a person, educator, sitting at the table, I was always one of the only ones. But that's okay, as long as we're educating our children. And I have a large concern that Florida is in the, last, maybe from 38 to 50 percentile? Scary. I think we can do better. I really do. And I ask you to consider that. Academics, academics, academics. I'm looking for the head shakes. I see you, some of you focus. It's important because every child's not going to go to college. So give them the skills. I know you have the school right here. Please consider those crafty for our children.
Thank you, Cheryl. Next up, we have Richard Patrick, please. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the school board. My name is Richard Patrick. I am the vice president of the local branch of the NAACP, a board member of LULAC. I see LULAC's president is here, and the vice president of the Social Justice Alliance of the Florida Sun Coast. Now, we at the NAACP and these other organizations are very concerned about several issues that are playing out in our society. The last time I was in law school, I knew what the Supreme Court meant when it interpreted the Fourth Amendment. We have a situation where we have to make a determination as to whether we're going to allow ICE in our schools. Contrary to a lot of statements that are being made, the question of ICE being in schools, traumatizing students, is one that the board needs to take very seriously. Let's look at what's playing out in our society as we consider, one, whether you need to adopt some kind of policy that speaks to this issue of how, whether, when, and where ICE will be able to conduct any searches in our schools. It is not that these students are somehow criminals. I've never heard that. But to suggest somehow that those of us who speak out to make sure that ICE isn't in the schools are somehow demented or somehow looking at an issue that doesn't exist is purely nonsensical. So we are asking that you adopt some kind of policy, put it in place, which protects our students here. Skipping quickly to this issue of ELL, we would like the school district to evaluate its current ELL policy. I see that the ELL coordinator is here doing a magnificent job, but one of the things that she has to deal with on these particular trying circumstances is to have a policy that embraces the concept that all these kids who are here, who are in the ELL program, are here for the purpose of learning. And the coordinators, the coordinator, and all those liaisons to the schools have to be given the tools to make sure that we have successful students who go through the system and are successful in the end. So we urge you to take a look at the ELL process to make sure that it is doing the job it should be doing. Thanks so much.
All right, and thank you, Richard. All right, at this time, I will recess the regular meeting and call to order a public hearing. Dr. McElroy, the public hearing on instructional materials, please.
The Division of Learning is requesting school board approval for the adoption and purchase of the new English Language Arts instructional materials for grades kindergarten through 12. Student editions of the recommended instructional materials were made available for public review on the district website beginning January 14, 2026, for a period of 20 days in accordance with Florida statute.
All right, thank you. Are there any board discussions or board questions at this time? All right, Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, any citizens wishing to address the board on instructional materials? None at this time. If there are no objections, I'm going to close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting. Dr. McElroy, the action on the public hearing, please.
I am recommending approval of the adoption and purchase of instructional materials for kindergarten through 12th grade English Language Arts.
So moved.
Second.
All right, you have a motion and a second to approve the adoption and purchase of the instructional materials. Any board discussion at this time? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Dr. McElroy, the consent agenda is next, please.
Great. We have 9 routine items on the consent agenda, which were reviewed during individual meetings. I am recommending approval of the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Excuse us. Dr. McElroy, the action agenda, the first item is an amendment, please.
It is. This is an amended agreement between Charlotte County Public Schools and the City of Northport, providing commercial driver's license training and testing to our employees.
So moved.
We have a little bit more to add to that.
I do. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I am
All right.
recommending
Okay.
approval of the amended interlocal agreement.
So moved. Second.
All right, there we go. We have a motion and a second to approve the amended interlocal agreement. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The next item is a donation, Dr. McElroy.
District Operations is requesting approval to donate and transfer a retired school bus to Charlotte County Fire and Emergency Services for hands-on training exercises. I am recommending approval of the donation.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the donation of the retired bus. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The referendum resolution, please.
Right, this is the 2026 millage referendum resolution, which directs the Board of County Commissioners for Charlotte County to place a question on the 2026 general election ballot for an ad valorem tax millage for school operational purposes. I am recommending approval of the 2026 millage referendum resolution.
So moved.
Second.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second to accept the 2026 millage resolution referendum. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Dr. McElroy, the out-of-field list, please.
Yes, this is the out-of-field teacher list for school year 2025-2026, quarter 3. Per Florida statute, this information must be posted on the district's website. I am requesting approval of the 2025-2026 out-of-field teacher list.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the out-of-field teacher list. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Dr. McElroy, our last item is the personal action, please.
Yes, this is the personal action, including job descriptions. I am recommending approval of the personnel action as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the personal action. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Excuse me? Well, they were invited to. We didn't have any speakers. Did. Okay, yeah. Mhm. All right. Then we're to comments. So, Mr. McKinley?
I've already made my comment. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you. All right. Ms. Amontri, please.
Oh, okay, thank you. Let's see, it was a great month. We enjoyed our time in Tallahassee. I went with Mrs. Reynolds and Mr. LeClaire. We visited with our local delegation, Representative Danny Nix and Representative Vanessa Oliver. And we are very happy that Senate President Ben Albritton, who is our senator, had a health emergency, but he is on the mend. And he was so kind that during the time when we were supposed to have our meeting with him, he called in the day after he got back from the hospital. I'm sure his wife was not happy about that. But he called in to let us know that he is supporting our 2 appropriation projects. In fact, he is the sponsor of those projects. For those who don't know the Tallahassee process, it is very unusual to have a Senate president be the personal sponsor for your projects. But that's how supportive he is of us and for what we're doing here in Charlotte County around our workforce programs. We have one appropriation that is $775,000 to create a water management certification at Lemon Bay High School, and another appropriation to create a welding training program out at the airport. And part of the reason that we are successful with asking for those appropriations is because we've been able to show them that the previous funds they've allocated to us, that we've done good things with those. And I was reminded of that when we went out to Charlotte High for Leadership Day and got to tour the hangar classroom that is going to be open any day now, and to see our students hard at work earning those certifications. So thank you both for coming with me to that.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ms. Amontri. Ms. Reynolds, please.
Nothing for me tonight, thank you.
Mr. Seeger?
Well, as always, thanks to the Eagles for performing for us tonight. Always makes the day brighter when we hear our children sing. My apologies to Leadership Charlotte and to a couple of other programs that I missed this particular 2 weeks. It's not my practice to miss anything, Tony, but I do apologize for missing that. Nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Seeger. Vice Chair Atkinson, please.
So I just, I loved all the artwork that East Elementary put out there in the hall, and also the honor band. I thought that or the honor chorus, they did a great job. And also I wanted to thank Miss Ellen Harvey for putting together and working with the art teachers in all of our schools for the fair this past week. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to go to, when they were out at the fair, to see all of those things, but our students are so extremely talented. And also another thank you, shout out to the Charlotte County Chamber of Commerce with their Leadership Charlotte program that they have. They did come out to Education Day. It was a great day, but I think one of the things that was fantastic was we ended the day out at the fairgrounds so that the class could meet some of the students who've worked really hard on their projects all year long with their steers and their pigs and their goats and their chickens and their hens and their rabbits. So it was really good. These kids work so hard, and then the community comes out and supports them in the sale of their animals. So I just wanted to give that shout out.
All right, thank you, Ms. Atkinson, and thank you again to Dr. McElroy for sitting in for Superintendent Vianello. I do know that he wishes he could be here, but you filled in very nicely. Thank you. And before I pass it on to Dr. McElroy, I just want to be sure whenever the school board attorney speaks, I want to make sure that I listen. We did invite public input for the instructional materials, but if I skipped you or if I missed you, I'm inviting you back up now. I didn't know if there was anyone else. Are you sure? Well, I mean, you already spoke. I thought there was an additional. Yep. Okay.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know, but I think you all didn't respond. I wanted to know before I was asking about spending, what did you spend on this new curricula that you purchased? What was the cost of it?
We have your number. We'll have someone reach out to you, ma'am. Okay.
Reach out to me. It'll be you or
Probably someone from the
but
Division
I'll
of.
be speaking with you. Yeah, but I will be speaking with you all because that was my concern. You just had a new, adopted a new series, and I just said sometimes that's not always necessary. So the timing of the conversation was, and I appreciate you letting me ask that question.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, I will hand it over to Dr. McElroy.
All right, well, thank you. It was my privilege to fill in tonight for Superintendent Vionello. I want to express my gratitude for his consistent leadership and clear direction that he provides us every day. I'm very thankful for that. I also thank the board for your support in granting me this opportunity. I did want to mention our school magnet fair, which was a huge success. I mean, it was such a large-scale event where the planning and dedication that went into it by all of our staff, our teachers, our students, the community. I mean, it really showcased what is happening in all our schools, our middle schools, our high schools, and the technical programs. It is something definitely, the energy, the creativity, and the pride that was displayed that day, that evening was just wonderful. It was the best of the district. So we had a strong turnout from the community and from our students. So that increased family interest shows that our community values what we're doing and the opportunities that we're providing. So very happy with that. I also had the opportunity to attend Charlotte High's Leadership Day, which was so wonderful. Seeing all the learning and leading opportunities that are available to our students in the schools is just amazing. It was a extra special day for me because I got to see a lot of my former Deep Creek Cub elementary students that were leading the charge for the day. So that was a very proud moment for me as well. So it's exciting. And then the last thing I want to mention is Mr. Vionello asked me to recognize this month's winner of Living Within Our Values. This month's recipient is Megan Ashcroft from Neil Armstrong Elementary School. As part of this, I will read the nomination submission. So Mrs. Elaine Wilson writes, I am writing to express my sincere appreciation and praise for my colleague, Megan Ashcroft, and the exceptional dedication she demonstrates each day in her work with students. Megan consistently exemplifies collaboration and professionalism. She actively works with colleagues, support staff, and families to ensure students receive the instruction and support they need to succeed. Her willingness to share ideas, problem solve, and contribute positively to the team greatly strengthens our school community. What truly sets Megan apart is her relentless commitment to student growth. She works tirelessly on a daily basis to analyze data, adjust instruction, and implement strategies that lead to measurable student gains. Her focus on improving student outcomes is evident in the progress students make academically and in their increasing confidence as learners. In addition to her strong instructional practices, Megan leads with compassion. She builds meaningful relationships with students, encourages perseverance, and creates a supportive environment where students feel valued and capable. Even when faced with challenges, she remains positive, motivated, and focused on helping students achieve their highest potential. Megan continually strives to raise student performance and encourages students to believe in themselves and their abilities. Her strong work ethic, dedication, and passion for teaching make her an invaluable asset to our school. It is a privilege to work alongside such a committed and inspiring educator. Megan is truly deserving of recognition for her hard work and unwavering dedication to student success. So congratulations to Megan Ashcroft from Neil Armstrong Elementary. And tomorrow I will be presenting this recognition to her at school. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. McElroy. And with no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.